Now, while Rosh Hashanah is more of a joyful occasion, Yom Kippur is more of a reflective day where the Jewish community atones for their sins from the past year.
Joining us now is the managing director of the Coalition for Jewish Values, Rabbi Yaakov Menken. Rabbi, given the significance of this time for the Jewish community, what is your reaction to what we have seen in this rise of anti-Semitic hate crimes in this country over the last several years?
Well, Tom, I think you actually put it very well in the last segment where you pointed out that anti-Semitism is subtle. When people don't know what to look for, they can confuse real anti-Semitic bias with an actual legitimate opinion and vice versa. And as we've seen out in the streets and the examples in the videos, the streets are turning dangerous precisely because of that anti-Israel narrative. And yet the people they are victimizing include the non-Zionist and even anti-Zionist Orthodox communities, where they don't believe in modern political Zionism, but they do believe in Jews living in the Holy Land, and that's what they go after. So it's all a facade. It's the new facade. It's a facade in area. Look, the term anti-Semitism comes out of German racism, the idea that Jews are an inferior ethnicity. Well, today, racist bias obviously has no purchase. So we have to have a new thing that we hate. And as Lord Rabbi Sachs put it in England, it used to be about religion. Then it was about science and this scientific study, anti-Semitism. Today, it's about, we don't hate the Jews because of their ethnicity. We just hate their country. And of course, like I said, they take it out on Orthodox Jews.
And you explained a little bit why you think that is. And again, to Tom's point and yours as well, how it is anti-Semitism has become very, very subtle. Give us a little bit more of an explanation as to why you think it's happening now and really where you think it's going.
Well, it's always subtle. That's the thing. It's not really the new anti-Semitism. It's that Israel offers a new facade for anti-Semites to exploit. Actually, I have a piece in Newsweek this morning that talks about this at some length, about the left's myopia and how it is allowing anti-Semitism on the left in Congress to fester. The reason why it's exploding is because on campus it's become completely tolerable to be woke in a whole set of areas, including this entirely false narrative around a European colonialist name for the Jewish Holy Land, namely Palestine. All of a sudden, Arab marauders turn into indigenous Palestinians, and everything else devolves from there into a new excuse to hate Jews. And I will say, by the way, that Rosh Hashanah, there was a really enhanced, I'm in Baltimore, a really enhanced police presence, and we're expecting the same, sadly, on Yom Kippur.
Rabbi, do you feel that that we're seeing this also just because of generally the rise of a secular left? I mean, we're a more secular society than we've ever been before. We have more people who are not people of faith, and so to advance that kind of narrative, you're going to go after people of faith. We've seen over 300 Catholic churches over the last couple of years vandalized, firebombed in this country alone. So is that sort of Marxist left that's gotten an outsized voice over these last couple of years, do you think that that's a big part of it as well?
Tom, that's an extremely good point because it obviously is. I mean, the entirety of LGBTQ is against the Bible. So if you are someone who wishes to observe the Bible, all of a sudden you're homophobic and bigoted and misogynist and transphobic and a whole set of names, which, you know, sadly, because we're Jews, we're very used to this sort of thing. But that doesn't make it more acceptable. This wokeism is against all those who observe traditional values. And an awful lot of anti-Semitism can be boiled down to, well, the Jews had the values first, so they're going to be hated first. You look at a lot of countries where Christians are being persecuted, they've already been ethnically cleansed of all their Jews.
Rabbi, and before we let you go, want to find out not just what does Yom Kippur mean to you, but also for people who are not of the Jewish faith. How can we derive some meaning and some positivity from what Jews are celebrating this weekend?
Excellent question.
Well, there's actually a great message in Yom Kippur, which is that there's always hope to turn around and find a new and better course. And that's, by the way, what we can hope for the woke left and for everybody, for all of humanity, because on Yom Kippur, we analyze it's really a miracle that there's this idea of return and repentance and a second chance. If a person kills somebody, whether deliberately or thoughtlessly, they can't bring that person back. So how is it that we can restore our relationship with God when we disobey what he wants us to do? The answer is that he gave us this miraculous thing, recognizing that human beings have fallibility, that we are going to make mistakes. We can turn around and do better.
All right. Rabbi Yaakov Menken, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Stay with us on American Agenda.